Today on Baztalks, we'll talk about playing football overseas. Of course, we're not talking about playing as a professional player. We're talking about playing as an amateur player. And in today's episode, we have somebody who has played overseas on many occasions. So join us and stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to Baztalks. It has been a while. Firstly, I hope everyone's okay. So today's Baztalks will be just me, Buzz, without Mike, because we've been a little busy. So I got in another friend. He's a close friend who likes to travel and loves football. So without further ado, introducing Shafiq.
Yeah, hi all. Thanks for inviting me, Shafiq here.
Hi Shafiq, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How about you?
Okay, Fik, how about you introduce yourself to our listeners about maybe your playing career with the air quotes in Singapore?
Yeah, okay. I've never really played professionally in Singapore. I played more to the amateur league in Singapore, such as playing for secondary school or the Pasir Ris West CC and also the amateur league. So for myself, I'm playing for BPFC last time. I mean currently too, but due to COVID, there's no football games.
Alright, many have wondered and have asked, what is BPFC? You want to go into it or shall we just skip over it?
Okay, so only our team members know what does BPFC actually originally means. So I'll just keep it
PG, yeah?
Yeah, PG, yeah.
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, today we're talking about playing football overseas. I myself have played football overseas once. That's when I went to go and take my AFC coaching license in Brunei. So shout out to my friends in Brunei. I'm not sure whether they'll listen to this. Hopefully they will, because that's what friends supposed to do. But before I start with my story, let's start with Shafiq. Fik, where have you played football overseas?
Okay, so actually I do have the opportunity to play a few countries. I would say only 3. So my first so-called adventure playing overseas was in Japan, followed by in China, and controversially it was also in Nepal.
Controversially, yeah, we'll get to that controversial part later. Okay, Japan. We'll start off with Japan, Fik. So, what about Japan? How did you get this chance to play with? I assume the Japanese.
Yeah, okay. So actually I did play twice in Japan, both times in Tokyo. I did have the opportunity to play the third time, but unfortunately I was stuck in a typhoon during that season, so I wasn't able to reach Tokyo at that particular time. So I'll just share with you the first time that I played.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually played in Tokyo for the first time. It's called at Tokyo Futsal Club Shibara. So how I actually so-called managed to get a booking was searching through Google. Just search Japan football or Japan futsal, how to play. Yeah, so from there you will
Wait. I got to stop you there.
Yes.
What was it exactly that you typed into Google?
So if I remember correctly, it should be playing futsal in Japan how. So it's quite simple though.
Okay, so if anybody who's listening in who has experience playing overseas or who are very welcoming of somebody who wants to play overseas on amateur level, please drop us an email or drop us a text on our social media platforms. There's one on our Facebook page. If you still use Facebook, just search for Baztalks, you can find us. The other one is on Instagram, is at Baztalks, where we from time to time have little questions and polls that we have. And also you can visit our website, www.baztalks.wordpress.com. or you can even drop us an email at baztalks2020@gmail.com. Wow, that's actually a very smooth plugin, eh?
Yeah. You can do it, bro.
Yeah, so Fik, where were
Yes.
we before I interrupted with that very smooth plugin?
Okay.
Oh
So
yeah, about playing overseas, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll just proceed from here. So actually, what I did was search in Google how to I would say play football.
Yeah.
So it actually led me to several sites. So one of the sites that
What kind of sites,
it's a booking site lah, I would say.
Booking site,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's not X-rated. It's purely for booking of certain activities in Japan. If I'm not wrong, I can't really recall what's the website, but it was actually very useful because it actually so-called allows you to book different kind of activities that you want to attempt in Japan. So yeah, so I can share with you some of them. One of them is actually I managed to book a session for a ninja lesson.
Oh.
Yeah, so I actually did a ninja lesson. I did samurai sword training.
Okay.
Yeah.
But running back to the football,
Yes.
is it similar to what we have here in Singapore, which is our Stranger Soccer app, where basically you go to this app, you input the number of players that you have, and then they will match make you to like random amateur league friendly, or is it something like that?
I would say it's similar, but it's not dedicated fully for football activities. So it has a lot of different activities that you might be interested in attempting in Japan. Yeah, so it's actually quite a number of activities.
Okay, so you go to this website.
Yes.
You choose, okay, specifically for this, you chose football as one of the activities you wanted to do, or how was it?
Yeah, so actually what I actually did was I specifically searched for football related items. So I search for football and actually pops up futsal games,
Okay.
football games that you can attend to watch, which is your J1 or J2 games. So those are some of the activities that you are able to so-called attempt to find there. So let me just try to find, maybe shout out to that website because it helped me a lot when I was in Japan.
Okay, so just to be clear, right, this website didn't help you book a futsal placing. It just helped you book like activities to watch the game lah.
No, actually there's there's this website called Meetup.
Okay.
So this Meetup app, okay, when you are talking about football specifically, it's actually direct you to a person. So a person will be in charge of booking the site. So he will book the futsal pitch. He will just say that how many players is allowed to come in for the session, and he will indicate what kind of level is it. Yeah, so let's say you have a match at Akihabara. So there's a futsal pitch at Akihabara, and they will just say that at this timing and this date there will be a slot open up for maybe 12 people, and they will state the rules and regulations and so on and so forth. So what you do is you just approach the person and you just confirm with them that yes, I want to attend the game and play the game.
Wow. Okay, so while you try and remember where all this how you actually got through this, let me share a bit about my Brunei story lah.
Yes,
playing overseas.
please. I'm quite interested.
So for the Brunei one, actually I went there for a 2 weeks AFC course lah. So after, I think, close to the end of the entire course, we actually had like a friendly session between the under 15s and the coaches. So obviously the coaches had to borrow from the under 15s lah. So it's a mix of under 15 and the coaches, because all the coaches all mid 30s, working full time, unfit bunch of guys lah. So before that, I came there as the only Singaporean coach there. So when we played that, right, got a bit of national pride they say, alamak, this Singaporean, can he make it or not? For our American listeners, that's basically like, can he do this, or will he shine, or will he fail? That's just a little of our Singlish lingo. So when I played that, during the training, their former national team keeper, because we were supposed to display or go through the drills ourselves to have a better understanding. So it was a simple shooting drill. So the first time I shot, the keeper saved. Then the keeper was like, "Oh my god, this is Singaporean standard." And I'm like, "Oh, you really you son of a gun, you." So it really ticked me off. Then the next one, I gave him like that kind of top corner shot lah. Then I'm like, alright, I've beaten former Brunei #1 keeper lah. I mean, honestly, on the football tree, Brunei is not that high lah. But you know, you take what you can get.
Yeah, you must be somebody now. A person who actually beat former national goalkeeper.
Yeah, the dude's like in his mid-40s lah.
It's
so,
okay,
you know,
it's okay. It's the achievement that
it's an achievement.
yeah,
Yes,
it's an
yes.
achievement.
So
for sure.
we played that game. So the Brunei team, I would say they're not as technically gifted. So what they focus more is being on tactically more prepared than the other team. Even then, they are lagging behind, but that's not to say they're not improving lah. I'm actually quite impressed because the amount of progress that they have made, I think, with the resources that they have, is actually, you cannot expect them to be playing like the Europeans lah. So they are doing quite well, and I hope to see Brunei national team go up even further lah. Because I have quite a fondness.
Yeah, so actually I got one question. So when you played at Brunei, so in terms of technical ability, who would you so-called consider better between Singapore and Bruneians? Bruneians.
The
is it?
Bruneians.
Bruneians.
I would say us.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I played with one of the coaches was under 23. Two of the coaches, sorry, were under 23 players lah. One of it is Mafazi, I think his name. The other one is Aman. I remember Aman's name easier because it's a bit more common.
Aman.
So yeah, Aman, he came, I think, the last SEA Games. He was in the under 23 team. He was the heartbeat of the team lah. He plays in central midfielder. His technical skills, I think, is comparable to our.
Shari Ishak?
No, I want to say Shari. Yeah, probably Shari Ishak, but you know, like a
Creator.
younger, raw
Oh, okay.
version of Shari Ishak lah.
So it's like more of talented, I mean, raw talent in terms of the
because
technical ability.
it is hard to compare how they will function in a team if your team is, you know, the makeup of the team is different lah. So if you got like 10 players who are technically gifted, right, you will look better than if you got one player who's technically gifted and the 10 are just absolute runners lah. So I think to me, Aman was quite impressive. I wouldn't say that they all are not good lah. I think the Prince is also he played in Leicester.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he was leading the national team.
The richest youth player.
Yeah. So they are good, but I would say overall we got a bit more lah in the talent pool.
Yeah. So is there? Do you actually notice a lot of futsal pitches?
No, their
really?
facilities are not that great lah.
So it's like non-existent.
So that's where when we want to say like, wow, we are better than them, right? We got some facilities lah. As compared to them, they are up and coming. So back to the story,
Yes.
the one I played overseas, right? It was actually quite fun. I'm not the fittest person lah, but they were generally surprised by my speed and ability to get to the ball lah. So the best one is Aman produced two sublime passes for me. One was a through ball from the halfway line, split the entire under 15 defense. I got on to the end of that. That one shot hit the post. then went out. Then the other one, the one that was actually a goal lah, I can actually say I score lah. Bring back some, save some
Glory.
pride lah, national
Yeah.
pride. Was Aman crossed in from the left hand side, then far post header into the empty net. Fantastic.
I can just imagine like Peter Crouch.
Peter fat lah, not Peter Crouch
okay,
lah.
I see.
Peter literally crouching after scoring that goal.
Yes.
So unfit.
So I'm just assuming that this Aman pass was like hot knife through butter kind of
Hot
pass.
knife through butter.
Oh
It was
my God,
fantastic.
that is
lah.
the fantastic pass.
So that is overseas lah. But if locally, I think locally, if you play in the amateur league, you get to face a lot of international players, Italians. You got
Yes,
Caucasians. The funniest one I had was this African guy. Honestly, when that match was played, I think I'm not sure if Shafiq remembered lah. There's this one match where the both of us played because we have been playing together for I think a good 12, 13 years or so.
Yeah.
Since we were like 12 years lah. Since we were like 17. So there's this one game where there's this African guy. So you got this image that African guys would be like Drogba like that, very strong, physical. The guy looked very buff, but oh my God, he like any smallest touch he will just ref. Then he start rolling on the ground.
I see. An actor, a potential actor for Hollywood.
Yeah. So how about you, Fik?
Yes.
Have you finally remembered the website?
Yes, actually, I did manage to recall juggle my memory a bit.
Yeah.
So there's actually two websites. I mean, shout out to these websites. They actually helped me a lot. The first one was voyagin.com. So voyagin.com.
How you spell that? How you spell that?
So it's VOYAJIN. Voyagin.
Okay.
So this voyagin.com is actually a very useful tool for people who wants to explore Japan in their local cultural so-called activities. Yeah, so I actually did manage to book a few things such as watching a baseball game, which lasted like 4 hours including fireworks. So more to that if Bazli is interested. I managed to catch a sumo training.
Wait, so this Voyaging is the one where you managed to get in touch with somebody who
Yes,
allowed you to
correct.
play.
Yes. that
Okay,
is
so
correct.
what is the one thing about playing with the Japanese?
Okay, this is very very impressive. So I learned a lot from one session alone. So just to give you a background, how it was like, we played 4 hours from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and there was only like 15 people. So the most impressive thing about playing with the Japanese is their how would I say it, the way they organize the games. So I believe when you play in Singapore, I mean your typical futsal game, you just like black and white, and last goal, last attack. The last attack can last like 1 minute. But in Japan, what they did right was that they actually have a timer, and they put the timer at 7 minutes, and the timer will just beep after the time lapse lah. So what they do is the last team that played longer will go out, and one person will be in charge of bringing the beeps. So that was very very impressive, along with their timekeeping. And if you remember playing PlayStation, Winning 11, where nice shooto, shooto miss, they will shout those kind of commands when you play. So when I had the ball, and I just push it to the right side and just curl it in, they said nice shooto. Then like it brings memories of those Winning 11 days, like. And then when you score, they were very enthusiastic. They were like goal.
Serious?
Yeah. I'm not even lying. So, but they are super fit. Technical. Okay, because I play at the amateur level. It's not like professional level, right? So I would say, when playing against them, I would say, I think it is much more challenging playing in the Singapore league. I mean the Singapore amateur scene, like X League or or your D2D leagues. But since it's like just a friendly game, they are very disciplined, and they are full of running, and
Wait,
they are
wait.
full of cheering.
So, were they harder, or is our local like amateur league scene harder?
Okay, I can't really tell for the first session, but the second one, yes. Okay, so let me just share the second session.
Okay.
Okay. So for the second session that I played actually the seven-side game. At the top of the shopping mall roof. It was at Asakusa. Yes, it was at Asakusa. So those okay, in that game we had about 4 teams, and we played 10-minute games, and it was full of international. So there was French, there was Italian, Egyptian. So I played for the Japanese team. So when I played for the Japanese team, technically they are, I would say, at the same level as Singapore, just that they are full of running, and they know where to run. I would say they don't pass the ball and just run anyhow. So they actually know where to run, and I think they appreciate players that runs for the team. You can see that. So when I was playing there, I was honored that they called me Inoue. So Inoue is actually one of the Japanese player there. So because of them, because the locals call me, I play like Inoue, right? The next day I just went to the Adidas shop. I just bought a jersey of Inoue with the number 14. It was actually an honor to be called
so
that.
all these Japanese players that you play with, right?
Yes.
They are all very fit. Like everybody, there's no fatties.
I don't think so. I don't recall seeing any unfit players. I also actually played with some ladies there, and the ladies are actually quite decent.
Better than me, or not?
I don't think so lah. As in, yeah, I mean, yeah, they are acceptable, but I've seen much more talented ladies playing football.
Yeah. To our listeners, don't get me wrong. It's just just want to measure how good they are lah. I'm not the best.
Yeah. As in.
And it'll be actually is actually quite fun to have ladies play alongside you.
Yes.
It's like
yeah.
during our, because we have a session where we play football
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday, where
Yes.
it's very casual, but it's fun when two ladies, literally just two ladies join us. It's different lah. And football lah. It doesn't matter who plays, as long as everybody enjoys it together lah.
Yes, everybody just enjoys. Yeah.
So to
Yes.
add on to more of that Japanese thing, right?
Yes.
How about the French? You mentioned there were French, there were Italians,
Yes.
Egyptians, right?
Yes. So okay. If I recall, the Egyptian is not so impressive. He's just playing as a goalkeeper. So okay, but the French, yeah, okay. Some of them were French, some of them were English. So what I can say is the French are just straight up bullies. So yeah, so I actually managed to play with one player. I can't really recall his name, but he was from Lyon. Is it Lyonese?
Yeah.
So yeah, so he used to play for the youth team.
Okay.
When I talked to him, so I played in the same team as him in center mid. So we had that connection, and that me getting through the balls because I was playing up front. And yeah, he was really talented. So I actually did manage to catch up with him and ask him like, why don't you follow through your footballing talent? So he was just saying that he just likes playing football for fun. But that French dude was super talented. He's like one of the most talented players I played with in a short span of time.
Okay, but what I'm interested now is what's their style, okay? Because like for Singapore, right, we have this stereotypes of races and how they play.
Yes.
I think this is quite well known, or
Yeah.
quite widely accepted by most people.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who lah, but again, advisory and disclaimer. This is allegedly how we describe the three main races lah.
Yes.
So the Malays will be the more technically gifted ones, the ones who are good at the tricks, at passing, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
The Indians will be the one that are
Engines.
very fast.
Yes, they are the engines of the team.
They're the engines of the team. They're very fast, and they are also the one that's most passionate.
Yeah, and
And of course, the last one that we have, last but not least, the Chinese, who are not as talented or as fast as their Malay and Indian counterparts, but they are very hardworking.
yes, it's very very annoying.
Okay,
when
so
they play.
if that is the three main
description,
stereotypes
I would say description
yeah,
of how they play.
of how they play, alleged stereotypes. How about the French and the Japanese?
Okay, so for the French,
And the Egyptian, you say keeper, right?
yeah, so Egyptian I can't really tell, but for the French, I can just say one word: they play hard and they don't like to get embarrassed. So actually, I mean, Bazli would know me, as in when we play, friendly games. I like to play, a lot of tricks here and there, just to try it out and all that. So I actually managed to.
Yeah. To paint a picture to our listeners, this is Shafiq, the same guy who plays goalkeeper for us when we didn't have our keeper for one of the BPFC games. So imagine this: full field, 11 aside. Shafiq, who is playing keeper, decides to do a clearance by doing a Rabona clearance. What kind of keeper does that? Nobody. Shafiq.
Yeah.
But it's a friendly game, so the moment his body shaped up to do that, the ball come to him, right? I saw his body shape. I know. Oh my god, this all hands on deck. This dude is about to do something amazing or something stupid.
Yeah. Apparently,
to be fair to him, the Rabona clearance came out quite amazing. It wasn't far, but it was
very high.
high enough and far enough for us to not be at the panic stations. So with that picture painted, Shafiq, take it away with the description.
Okay, so what I would say is, I don't want to be so upfront, but they are just so okay, if you play like Burnout Revenge, the car game, where you get smothered at the side and crash and burn, they will just come back for you. So what happened was that I was dribbling at the side and I managed to do a filthy ole. And it was so filthy that I managed to capture it on camera.
Okay.
So, but like literally 3 seconds later, he just got up, he just kicked my ankle, and I was out for that match. As in, like, it was horrible. So, and the horrible thing is, I managed to capture it, and you can see that that person, once he got ole and fell, he just get up, he looked at me, and he just kicked my ankle without attempting the ball. So that was one of them. I got another second story for you.
Okay.
So the next one was, I was playing up front for the team.
Okay.
So this French dude who got embarrassed by me.
Not the same French dude that you
It is
talked
the
to
same one. No,
Same one.
It's the same one.
Okay.
The talented guy was in my team.
Jean-Pierre.
Yeah, let's call him Jean-Pierre. Okay, so what happened was that he was playing goalkeeper, and I think the other French dude, the talented French dude, he saw me running through the channels at the left side and cutting into the box. So he gave a stupendous, a floating pass for me to hit the ball to goal. But when I was about to hit the goal, the keeper could just catch the ball, but no, he had to punch, and he punched my face instead. So when he punched my face, while punching, he actually kicked my calf. I got cramp in the air and I got a swollen face just before, and I was panicking because why? Your face is swollen, your legs are cramped, and and that Jean-Pierre is like asking me to get up. Like, how do I get up? I just got punched.
Oh, so Jean-Pierre wasn't that midfielder you talk about lah?
No. Jean-Pierre was my team. So he is okay. Let's call him Benzema because he looked like Benzema actually.
Wait. Now I'm confused.
Okay.
Who's Jean-Pierre? Who's Benzema?
Okay, Benzema was the player that played for Lyon last time.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the.
So he's the one that found you.
Yes, correct.
Jean-Pierre is the opponent goalkeeper that punched you in the face.
Yes, and the one who got OLED by my
previously.
Yes, previously.
Okay.
It's the same person. Yeah.
So the stereotype for the Japanese is they don't like to lose.
No. Okay, for the Japanese, they are very industrious. And they are very hardworking. They are industrious, but based on the players that I play with, they are not the raw talents that I've seen before in Singapore.
Okay.
So they are very industrious. They are able to communicate well, and they know how to play. But yeah, I think they are more industrious in nature in terms of their
Okay.
talent.
Then how about the French guy? The French generally, what's their
Generally,
play like?
they're just bastards. Really, they just whack you, and from their experience, they just don't like to get embarrassed. To be honest,
So they both don't like to get embarrassed lah.
yeah, for French, yes. For Japanese, right? What I can say is, even if you do a simple trick, they'll be amazed, and if you watch anime, Sugoi, yeah, they just like, whoa, Sugoi, whoa, and then like, whoa, okay.
Alright, so to conclude,
Yes,
from Shafiq's
please.
experience, the French, to quote him directly, bastards, because
Yes.
they
Whack
come in
you.
hard lah.
Yes, they come in hard.
Hard, whether fair or fair is another story.
Yeah.
So they just come in very hard.
They
They don't
just
care
come in
whether
hard.
you come off worse, and even though it's a friendly.
Yes,
So
that's
that's why
true.
you define them as bastards lah.
Or hard players who just doesn't give a damn about
Yeah.
their
So
surroundings.
in context lah,
Yeah.
we're not saying it's the French people.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
talking about the experience that you had, those sets of footballers lah.
Yes, correct. So far,
Okay.
that's true.
Then for the Japanese is they're very industrious,
Yes.
and I think any footballer don't want to get embarrassed lah.
Yeah.
So but what you say is they're industrious and they are good with communication.
Yes, correct. Yeah, quite tactical also. I can see that.
You mentioned and that's not something that we see in Singapore unless you're talking about the old timers where they cannot run anymore. Then
Yes.
they start passing more like 2 feet.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting. So you mentioned that you played in China as well.
Yes.
So how about the experience?
Okay, so this is a good story also. So I was in Guangzhou, exploring the cities, and I managed to stumble upon this place. It was an old factory, an old factory that
Are you going there?
I have no
Factory,
idea.
okay.
So I was just exploring the area.
Okay.
And it was currently is known as a up and coming art scene area.
Okay.
So they use the old factory to change it to a very hipster like location.
gallery lah.
Art gallery and sporting facilities.
Sporting facilities.
Yeah,
okay.
so like inside the factory itself is still retained. You see chimneys and all that.
Yeah.
But inside the factory, right, they made it into like a ping pong location. Table tennis game section.
Ping pong location would have a very different connotation in Thailand.
Yeah. So
Table tennis.
yeah, table tennis. Sorry. So it's table tennis and also badminton. So what struck me was when I was walking, I actually saw normal football field. I was excited. So what I did was me being a lonely tourist there, I was just like I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna put on my mask, and I'm just gonna go inside and say hello. I'm a foreigner here. Can I join you guys?
Thick skin lah. When you say
Yes,
mask,
thick skin.
just that thick skin mask
Yes,
lah,
because-
not an actual mask lah.
Yes, it's not an actual mask because there was no
In context lah, because now.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
You are right. Yeah. So at that moment of time, I was very thick-skinned. I was just thinking, if I'm rejected, so what? Yeah. So I just went to the person. I'll just ask, can I know, is there a football game now? Then after that he was like, yeah, there's a game now. Then I just like, can I join?
Wait. So how you communicate with them? Just
Okay.
In English.
Yes, correct. Because I think Guangzhou is more of a city area in a super city. Sorry, a super city in China. So it is known that they do have a lot of English speaking citizens there. Yeah. So what happened was that I was there. I was thick skinned. I just asked, and yeah, they say, do you have your kits on? Do you have your gears? Then I say, yeah, I'm just gonna I'm using this cargo pants. The trekking pants where I can unzip to a short.
become a shorts,
To shorts, and I have my Adizero shoes on. So I just say, why not just join? Yeah. So I joined. I managed to play center mid there, and I managed to score 3 goals. Apparently.
This 11 aside. So just
Yeah, this is 11
some
side.
random.
Yeah, it's
persons.
just random ass so-called a casual game, I would say. It's not a competitive game. It's just a friendly game.
It's like our free to play.
No, it's actually paid to play.
Oh.
Yeah. So
you just.
Yeah, I just crash into their party. So
What the?
yeah. So
Okay,
what?
how many minutes did you get?
I think I played like, I think I was there about, if I'm not wrong, at maybe 4:30. They stopped playing at 6, so I played like a good 1 hour 30 minutes. I played the whole game. Yeah, so I started off at left back, and then after that center back. Then I was like, you guys are not creating enough. I'm playing center mid.
Wait. So they spoke to you in English.
Yes.
So when all this came, you just like okay. Imagine if I'm the guy. How
Yeah.
how did you approach?
Yeah. Okay. So I was like, hi. I'm a foreigner. I mean, I'm a tourist here. Is it possible for me to play one game with you guys if there's a slot?
Me being that local, I'm not going to with respect to the people there. I'm not going to do any like accent or anything.
Yeah.
So okay, sure. Come and play.
Yes.
So which position do you play? This is all happening in English,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which position do you play then?
Yeah. So I was just saying, I can just play anywhere. So I just wanna play football. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, come. You play. You start off at left back.
Yeah. So I started off left back, and I think as the game grows, a few of the players subbed out. I think they do not have any center mid, so I was like volunteering. Can I play center mid for you guys? And then like, yeah, sure. You just played. Then I just played. Then yeah, I scored a few goals, and I would say few worldies.
Did your team win?
I believe so. I recall we won. I think about it's a high scoring game lah.
Okay, then how did you know that it's a paid game? This is quite baffling to me.
So what happened was after the game ended, I saw them paying to like your typical game. Yeah, after the game you were like paying somebody. Yeah, so I saw that. So I was there. I was just asking them. Okay, I've played quite a bit share of the game. So can you tell me how much is it? So at least I pay. But the person was like, oh, you don't need to pay as long as you come next week. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm flying back to Singapore tomorrow. Yeah, so yeah, they actually invited me for the weekly game at this location. So I just had to tell them that I'm here only for for this week, and yeah, I can't make it.
Damn, son.
Yeah, but it was quite impressive. I can tell you that there's one player, he was old. Like his hairline is like
Give us an age.
okay, I would say maybe 50s.
Okay.
50, I would say early 50s. He looks like he looks like a player. Okay, sometimes when you go to the pitch, you have this expectation when you see a player like, oh, this kind of player doesn't look like he can play. I'm pretty sure everybody has that kind of judgment
I get that judgment all the time.
Yeah, correct. So I saw this player, and I was like, who is this guy? Why is he playing in the center? But oh my god, he was like the Chinese Iniesta. He was brilliant. He's like his close control, his his penetrating pass is like hot knife through butter.
Another hot knife.
Yes, it was very impressive. He was the best player in the whole game, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like it.
Japan, China. What's the last one?
Last one is a bit controversial. But I will put it as I've played football there.
Okay.
So it was in Nepal.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was backpacking at the Himalayas. And
this is not like some story from
friends, no, this is not like a friend situation lah. It's my actual situation.
this isn't a backpacking through Spain.
No, this is not backpacking through Europe story. This is backpacking through Nepal story.
Okay.
Which doesn't lead to anything at all. Don't worry. Okay.
So
what happened was that I had the opportunity to backpack in Nepal. So it was I would say our 5th or 6th day. Hiking at one of the mountains. So one of our tour guide, not say tour guide, what's the person who's carrying our bags? I can't remember what's the actual name.
Baggage guy, Porter.
Yes. So one of the porter actually kept telling us, oh, we can play football here. Like Then I was like, dude, where can we play football? So I was quite excited. So once we reached at this location, he actually bought like an old football. You just imagine like those our secondary school days playing under the block where the leather was peeled off. Those kind of ball.
Yeah, the no money ball lah.
Yes, correct. So he used that ball. I was a bit disappointed, but it's okay. It's still football. So I was expecting like a 4v4 or minimally like 3v3 lah. So when I was there, right, it was just four of us playing at the top of the mountain. So I take it as playing football because
playing overseas, yeah. Walao, like
it was about 3,000 meter above sea level, and it was very difficult to breathe. So actually you can imagine how Bolivia players played at their stadium.
Okay, I give it to you that you technically played football in a unique location.
Yes.
But to consider it, I have played overseas as one of your locations is of a stretch like that I can say I play at Malaysia lah. I play at Bintan, Indonesia.
It is not wrong. It's just it's just that technically I feel that I have experience playing football at Nepal, which I think is a different experience, I would say. But they use bricks as their goalposts, and so every time we shoot, let's say we miss past, and it went down one of the slopes, and we had to chase, it bounces off to other houses, and you hear all the zing roof, katong, 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 and then like, oh my god, then you have to chase after the ball. Yeah, it was difficult to play football there.
Wow, okay, I give it to you. It's a
unique experience, I would say. Yeah, it's not a footballing game, of course, but it is an experience for sure.
All right. So if before we close out this session, what's your advice to somebody who, because clearly you are somebody that I think has experience in this. What's your advice to somebody who's traveling either by themselves or as a group? And they want to play with like locals there, like other than obviously I think the one that most obviously you're gonna say is the two lah. Do research and have a thick skin. Like what do you think people should be prepared for if they ever have like, okay, I want to experience playing football overseas lah?
Okay, so actually one good advice that I can give you is that you can just Google it and just find what you want. So what I did was I really researched. I took a few months or a few weeks to really research on exactly what I want, and you need to know your place, as in like where you want to play, how much you are willing to pay, because playing in Japan was quite expensive, I would say.
How much?
It was, I think, easily $40. Yeah.
For what, a 2-hour session?
For a 2-hour session, yeah. I recall it was about $40. But you are really paying for the experience because first, they are very organized, and second, it is a different experience from playing in Singapore. So I actually did try to bring back the habit of how the Japanese organize their games, and it actually worked to a certain extent.
Wow. $40 is quite expensive.
Yeah, so actually I did ask one of the locals. I asked them how much does it cost and all that, and turns out that the futsal pitch is actually quite costly.
Oh.
An hour could be a few $100s. It's actually more expensive than Singapore.
Yeah,
that's what I recall.
Usually in Singapore, the base price is I think what $10 to $15
per person.
Depending on the amount of people and the time of day lah, and whether they got any promotions. But
correct.
So you paid 40 Sing dollars to play.
I recall. I think it's 40 Sing dollar. Wow. I know it's almost. Wow. I was like thinking twice, but in the end, I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. Just create because it's an experience. Yeah.
Wow, that is wow. Okay, so I've always been interested to do that as somebody who's passionate about football. So shout out to my friend in Germany, Stefan. If you're hearing this, we've discussed this many times. I want to go overseas, and whenever we can fly again, I want to have a session with you and your friends in Germany. Okay.
Yeah, you can show me also.
Yeah. Fik, please. If you can come along.
Yeah, I do have a few friends in
Yes.
Germany also.
And bring me along for your Japanese friends. I mean, I'm very out of shape. They're probably gonna.
Yeah, they are very active. I would love to try beach football. They are actually quite hot. It's quite hot. It's a quite hot topic to play there.
Yeah,
It's
so
quite
if
popular.
you have, please invite me. And also to our listeners, be it in the States, in Nepal. Oh, funny you mentioned, we do have a listener in Nepal.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
Nepal is a
no
beautiful
matter
country.
wherever you are, if you feel like you want to invite us, please just drop us at any of our channels. And yeah, Fik, thank you for being with us. Hopefully, you'll be with us for future sessions. Before I close out, I want to give a shout out to Ezekiel from NUS and his group with Listen. Okay, so Listen is basically a audio-based social media for short podcasting clips. So they approached Baztalks, which we are very, very honored and touched to hear. Because this project from NUS School of Computing, Listen is basically a content inside of where the content inside the app is focusing on short audio contents below 12 minutes. Their main purpose is to introduce audio contents to a much wider audience by delivering them a simpler and more consumable content. So basically, if you think about it, they're trying to go for, like, how people are more shorter attention span these days. So Listen is something like your TikTok for podcasting. So they'll take like the best 10 to 12-minute clip and put it online. And hopefully the students from NUS are listening into us. Hi guys, how are you doing? Uni is a very good time.
Yes.
So yeah. So you can go and find them at listen.net, netlify.app. It's list.netlify.app. Right? Go and explore the page. I've seen the page myself. There's a lot of interesting podcasts there. They have their like local podcasters from the school. They have people uploading sounds of chipmunks, sounds of them eating. Some are odd, some are weird, some are interesting. You
Chipmunks eating.
yeah, really.
I would love to hear that.
If you
Actually,
go to the website, you can explore the website. We have a few, like I think one of them is Ezekiel just introducing the page that was done recently. And there is also recently, I think because this is around the Halloween period, we have people sharing horror stories. So yeah, one of the actual one is chipmunk, chicken wing. That's one of the audio posts. So hopefully you get to listen to Baztalks and explore us even more. With that, Shafiq, thank you very much.
No, thank
we
you,
love to
Baz.
have you back on the show. Thank you for all your stories. And as we close out, everybody in these COVID times, take care, and we hope to meet you all soon. Bye.
Bye.